Hi, class, and welcome back to Reborning 102 Hair Rooting. I have in front of you Chase. He is the baby of the day, and I found it very relaxing to change it all while I was actually talking about it. So, we're going to do it again, but we're going to do this little fellow. He, of course, is the Elliot kid from Bountiful Baby. He is adorbs. He is probably the second baby that I made with the intent to keep. Um, the first one that I actually kept, but definitely the second one that I made with the intent to keep. He is over 3 years old. I was just learning about molting. I was just learning about shading and all that kind of stuff. And it's reflective in his paint work, of course. And we would definitely get him touched up on, but he's not the one that's on the chopping block or on the one that we're doing. So today we got again a very short list of things to talk about. I have it in three different categories. And the first one is getting the hair. And when you're choosing hair, you definitely should let age be a factor because the older the baby, the more thicker their hair will be, the higher of a chance that their mommy or daddy is going to do their hair, and therefore you need to make sure it's something that's going to be worth doing. I have mohair. I'm going to show you a sample of mohair. Um, I believe it's a Paca, but don't hold me to that. I could be definitely wrong. As you can see, it's super, super soft or what have you. And the baby, if you took the quiz, her hair is mohair. And it's very soft and everything else. It's difficult to root to be a starter thing just because if you can look up felting, and that's the kind of wool that it is that's used in felting. And if you see what exactly you're supposed to do with felting, I find it ironic that the tool that you're going to use is the same tool. And with felting, you're definitely pressing those layers down and building like a hard but soft ball of whatever shape you're trying to make. So imagine trying to use that same technique in a doll's hair. This is his little shirt he's gonna put on, and it's his favorite buddy. But yeah, it's definitely kind of ironic because you don't want it to matte, but mohair usually does. Um, I I'm not gonna stand corrected until I've seen it, but I've never seen someone who got a used doll that had mohair have compliments for the hair. And it could be like they started off with an awesome root job, and it just is that's just the nature of that beast. It also sheds to me fairly quickly, and that's not even, I can't even say it was because I did it and I didn't know what I was doing, because the one that I got from the artist off of eBay, I follow all the rules and play the game the way she want me to, and that's wet it with the mohair stuff first and brush it gently and all that kind of stuff, and it still sheds unfortunately fairly quick anyway. So I have the wrong pants, guys. These are not the pants he's gonna wear. He's gonna wear these cute little elephant pants that actually match. And Chase literally, also changing subjects real quick, I realized that he doesn't have a lot of summer wear, and it gives me an excuse to go shopping to try to find him some more summer outfits. But I definitely, the girls have probably 17,000 pieces of summer clothes. I don't have but one, two, three boys in my collection right now that are kind of like mine in my collection. So yeah, I got to get on my game on that. But anyway, when you root it, and this is my rooting job, which we're gonna go right into directional rooting as well. But your goal is for it to lay flat, etc., and make a directional setting and circle around. But when you do the human hair, it's kind of more straightforward. You could be a little bit more aggressive with it, but you also, if they are looking for a softer brand of hair, they're probably not gonna want the human hair. And even with the human hair, you definitely have to take care of it just as you would your own, of course. And you definitely are going to have to be gluing it in, because if I buy a girl size doll, which is my only beef with this one, is that I'm a hair person and I can't comb this little girl's hair because I'm afraid it's gonna slide out every time I hit it with a comb or a brush. And eventually, maybe if I'm careful and lucky, it won't be for a couple of years, but eventually I'm gonna have to figure out how to either get her hair rerouted, see if the artist will reroute it or if I have to reroute it. But if I reroute it, I'm going to take it completely out and put human hair in. um so what I choose is human hair for those reasons. Also because you can dye human hair or what have you, and you can dye mohair as well. But both of them, you do run the chance of, if you do decide to dye this doll's hair, make sure that you are aware of and understand that it could bleed. And if they are someone who does like to do their baby's hair and it bleeds, they're going to run the risk of it bleeding on the paint, which is going to be unfortunate and inconvenient, because you're going to get that email saying, hey, my baby's hair bled right into the paint. So that is one part. Mapping is definitely where you take a line and you draw how you want the hair to lay, which is going to definitely fall into the third part, which is directional routing. But mapping is definitely yes, do it for smaller babies, because you definitely want their hair to lay a certain way. That's the whole point of it. And it's, if you consider, like, if you look on your scalp, you'll notice that your hair goes a certain way. Well, doll's hair is creating that illusion. We're about to put some pink moisturizer in this baby's head, unlike them, because he has human hair, not mohair. So I use pink moisturizer in my doll's hair, and it makes it super soft. I'm gonna sit him down here so you can still keep him in the cam. And you want the hair to lay a certain way. Our hair, all our hair has a certain way that it lays, and the dolls should be no different, because you're trying to create the illusion that they're real. Um, Always tell your buyer what to use in the hair, because there is a chemical lead hair that I do fall back on some of my African American, ethnic babies, that waves as soon as it gets wet, and it definitely gives it a great illusion that their hair is the same thing that happens with our hair. When it gets wet, it gets curly. But unlike our hair, with just a touch of water, those curls will hold until you wet it again, and it takes a long time for them to come out. But if you put too many chemicals in, just like real hair, it'll definitely kink up, and if you wash it out, it'll definitely go away. So your curls and all those popping that you took the time to make will go away. So you definitely want to be careful. You definitely want to let the person know, if, especially on older babies, where they want to just like um bevel their hair and make it straight one day, you definitely want to let them know, like, if there's a heat tolerance or a low heat tolerance, because you don't want them to tell you, hey, my baby's hair just burned off. But just like, again, with human hair, we don't put a lot of heat to our hair, so why would you put it to this doll's hair, especially if you're not protecting it with the right kind of chemicals. So everything that with human hair, everything that you could do with your hair, you can do with the baby's hair. That was another reason why I like it. Now, when mapping an older child, you really kind of don't have to, as long as you master the next thing we're going to get into, and that is directional routing. That means however you want the hair to lay, the needle needs to literally be going in the opposite direction. And that is definitely one of the things I'm going to show you next video is how to do it. Believe me, it took me forever to actually hit it. I'm going to say almost 3 years, and then all of a sudden, sitting up one night watching someone else root a doll's hair, and was like, hey, wait a minute, and actually like pay attention to how they had their hand and how they had the doll's hair laying, and when they pulled, after they rooted it and pulled it out, how the hair itself actually laid. So we're definitely going to get into that in next video so I can show you how I do it. The next two videos are definitely going to have music in it, so I'm going to warn you about that. But because I'm not going to stop, I'm just going to try to get her hair rooted. I do my larger doll's hair in 4 sections so that I'm not burnt out. And if it's a larger head doll and her head isn't as big as some I've had, but I would break it up into even more. And on my smaller babies, they definitely get the 4. On usually if they have a larger size head, I'll do it in 5 or 6, so that middle section I can actually focus one day on. We definitely will talk about why make it thinner kind of towards the front, and so that if they want to make baby hairs they can. I personally don't really like purposely cut out baby hairs. If you want to put scissors to your doll hair, if you buy it from me, you're most welcome to, but it won't be because I did it. And I also explain why I don't kind of touch on rather, why I don't draw on the swoops that people are putting in dolls' hair now. One, I do believe it is a fashion statement, it is a style, and when it goes out of style, your baby is definitely going to be stuck with this hairstyle forever. And there's no way to, if you painted it on, there's zero way that you can fix that without stripping the paint altogether and redoing their face. Now, if you decide to do it with some water in a spray bottle, that's a little different ball game, and that's great. But then it's gonna definitely be your choice to do. Again, that's only if you get it from me. I know artists that have zero problems with drawing on the little baby hair swoopy doop things. Alright, guys, Chase is dressed and pretty. Let me take his pacifier out. I love this outfit. Don't even ask where I got it from because I honestly can't tell you. I want to say. I'm trying to think about it because I think I got this actually from either Roses or from Ross, because it was a cute little set and he definitely has the other set hanging up. Let me see, I can cheat. See by the label where it came from. It definitely came from, I fibbed, it came from, it looks like, you can't tell from the tag, that sucks. Alright guys, I don't know where it came from, but it was a cute little outfit. I did get this a couple of summers ago, and that's how often I kind of really don't change them, that I kind of don't really remember where I get their outfits from, and because I usually take the tags off and keep it pushing and keep it going. Alright, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you got what you needed to get out of it. As always, be sure to leave me questions in the comments if you have any. And I look forward to actually getting started on Little Miss Autumn or Winter or Summer or Savannah. I haven't really decided. I really think that once she get her hair in, we'll definitely have a better decision. And just to show you, this is the human hair that I got her, and it has beautiful little waves in it. This is actually 25 inches of hair, and we're going to cut it in half. Wherever it falls, once it's cut in half, that's how long her hair is going to be. So I think it's 25 inches if you pulled it straight, so I'm hoping it's going to at least fall about 10 inches, which when I folded the package in half, it landed a little bit below her shoulder, which should be very pretty. And when I do my older babies, and we'll get more into that next video, I do like to cut their hair to get it off the weave, and that's it. I don't cut it no more. I don't cut it once it's on their head. I do trim the baby's hair because there's a certain length you need to reach, and of course the boy's hair. And we'll that's that. We'll see you next time, and tell them bye. Bye, everybody. Thank you for watching me. Mwah.